Bryce.
I'm Brian. Are you sick of changing injectors in your LB7?
You know, these trucks are starting to be 20, 21 years old, you know, anywhere in there. Why put a new set of injectors in it? I mean, why would a person spend this money on an LB7?
For multiple reasons, I guess. One, if it's not California made, it is emission-free truck. So you can do just about anything you want to. The thing is that people go back and forth. Well, do I go with the stock injector? Do I go with an oversized injector? What do I do? Big thing is it came into the industry quite a few years ago, but it is a very, very hot seller. Factory, they come with a VCO type nozzle. You know, it's okay to an extent. They've come a long way from back in 2001, 2002 when they were doing these, but they have a lot of issues. If you see a LB7 truck driving down the road and it's, you know, smoking out the tailpipe, good chance, 90% of the time, it's the injectors causing that. And what basically causes that is the pintle needle in the nozzle will take and, you know, flow. And reason being is that there is one pintle needle in that nozzle and you have 7 orifices to shut it off. So good chance that it's not gonna happen. And there's wear from eroding in the sack of the nozzle. So what we have here is we have SAC 45s. They are a different design on the nozzle, the body of the injector, and the base of the injector is a Bosch injector.
So it's a OEM Bosch?
Yep,
certified?
Genuine Bosch injector. At the top end, the bodies, there's nothing different. They are the same. It's modifications that are done to the lower half of them. And with that being said, a OE, you know, flows on what it flows on. These SAC 45s are going to flow more. Therefore, you're going to need, you know, tuning to compensate the fuel at idle and at higher RPMs. So with that being said, the nice part is you can tune these because they are emission free and they are, you know, they're not illegal to tune them.
So now that you say you have to tune these because they flow more, can a normal run-of-the-mill person, say a farmer that doesn't want to, you know, crank up his truck and have all this horsepower, can they go back to their factory settings for horsepower?
Absolutely. In the tuning, you can take the tables and adjust them back. You can take all the, on the microseconds on the tables and everything, you can pull all that back and basically have, you know, at the end of the day, we've proven it, we've done it here in-house. We have built these, tested them, installed them in a truck, and then we tuned them and basically pulled them back and then dynoed them. And with that being said, what that truck dynoed on the you know, showroom floor, and then after doing all this work to it, even though these are a larger injector, you can pull the tune and the pulse width back on it and make these so they are drivability, you know, out the box great and to a guy. And we have done them here in the shop. And, you know, on particular elderly people, you know, they want the long longevity of it, but they don't want the extra added horsepower. And, you know, by just installing these injectors, you will get added horsepower, but people don't want that. They like how the you know, factory settings are. So you just simply tune it back and make it back to a stock file. Now,
with even having a bigger nozzle and, you know, flowing more fuel, do you get anything for economy-wise?
Yes, yeah, you will actually pick up, you'll pick up more depending on who you talk to. You know, you talk to a guy that tells you that they're getting 25 miles to the gallon with their truck. Number one, I don't believe it. Number two, you ain't gonna get no better than that. By putting injectors in or putting a new filter on, by doing anything, you ain't gonna pick anything up. But most guys on an LB7 are averaging, you know, depends on cab configuration, tire size.
Highway, city,
yep,
you know, but you will gain.
Yep, you'll typically gain, which we've seen over the years across the board, anywhere from 2 to 3 miles to the gallon. Some guys are getting 4. Depending on what they do, if they're pulling a heavy trailer or they're just driving it to work and back.
So on these SAC 45 nozzles, I guess, is the spray pattern any different? Does it atomize the fuel diesel any better?
Yeah, good question. So on the SAC 45s, there's a different spray angle on them. So in a sense, they will take and atomize the fuel better. They're not dropping it directly onto the top of the piston. They're basically doming it out. Therefore, the spray angle, the spray pattern, it's a much better design. So you don't have that excessive buildup.
We have all of our install kits. We have multiple different install kits.
Yep, that we make in-house here is just kind of something that we wanted to do to, you know, one better at. Years ago, guys would buy injectors, but we don't have anything to prove or give them to do the kit. So here at LDS, us guys in the shop, we decided, hey, let's build a kit that is an LDS kit that will take in, you know, you buy this one kit and you can do your job. Therefore, with that being said, this is our LDS Master Install Kit. It comes with it'll come with more than what you really need at the end of the day.
So this kit is going to be your basic the lowest kit, you can really get from us.
Yep.
So this is somebody that wants to use their high pressure lines, something like that has the capabilities of cleaning them high pressure lines good enough.
Yep.
So this kit will not, include them. We have multiple kits. We have a kit with a lift pump, high pressure lines, everything. Across.
Yeah,
the
we
board.
basically start with the master kit, which is the cheapest,
most affordable.
mostly what you need to take and do your job. Then we go to a exclusive, and that's a little bit bigger kit that comes with more components, high pressure lines. Then we have a complete kit, and we have an ultimate kit. The complete kit is the highest kit that will come with what you see here, plus much more lines, glow plugs, a lift pump. It will come with a fuel filter setup, whether you want to do our LDS cat setup, you can do that, or you can do just a factory, AC Delco setup, whatever you prefer.
So one thing that does, catch my eye every time I do an injector job is, and I'm sure most of you that are watching this, is the return line bolts. You want to tell me a little bit about our LDS injector bolts themselves?
Yeah.
Compared to stock?
So these bolts here are, we basically designed these and wanted it so it was friendly to the user, because the reason being is a factory bolt is a 5mm Allen bolt. After these injectors, like I said in the beginning, are you tired of changing your injectors? You ain't gonna do one set on the life of an LB7. So there's a lot of times you'll be in there 4 times. I mean, I've seen in the shop 5, 6 times. So with that being said, people that there's a lot of people out there that don't know what a torque wrench is or how to use a torque wrench, and they will over tighten it. Meanwhile, while you over tighten it, you also stripped it. Therefore, you are, grinding the heads off, you're drilling them out, you're, whatever you got to do in the shop to take and get them out. And then here is our LDS bolts, which is a 10mm head, and it is a 6-point, very, and
no stripping it out.
Yep. And the big thing is the reason we went with the 10mm and the 6-point head is, I don't know if you own a toolbox, you got a 10mm. There ain't a question about it. So anybody can use these, and they are, they're definitely proven to take and work much better. If you have to go back in, if you did make a mistake and you have to go back in, you don't have to worry about stripping out a bolt that you just put in.
Yep, and one thing I've always, we install this to everything that we sell here, so every time I do an injector job, my rule of thumb is, if there's 4 stripped old bolts, well, I'm gonna, upgrade you to these hex head 10mm Allen or 10mm socket head bolts. It's a much crisper torque. There's no way you're gonna strip them out. So,
right.
10mm socket compared to a 5mm Allen head, they're just all around a better product than a factory bolt.
Yep.
While you're in there doing, the SAC 45 injector upgrade kit, what are these bolts here that I'm looking at?
So these bolts here are a bolt that we came up with, and there's a short one, a long one. These are your upper and lower valve cover bolts. And here are, these bolts are basically designed again, kind of in the same sense of the return line bolt, due to the fact is they are 5mm Allen bolts on the top and the lower of the valve cover. You get all your road grime, your crud, your dirt, you don't blow them out, you strip them, it's game over. You're there with a hammer, a chisel, a drill, whatever you can, and you don't get a lot of room to play with it.
And everybody that owns the LB7 knows it most likely not the first time digging into that engine to do injectors.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had designed a 6-point head, and they are a 8mm socket, which again, anybody typically has that in their toolbox. So you can get like he said before, you can get a good crisp torque on it and not have to take and worry about stripping it out on the way back in or on the way out. If need be, if you have to take it back apart.
The person that wants to order a set of these SAC 45s, how easy is it to do?
Jump on to LincolnDieselSpecialties.com, go under the selection of LB7s and go through the category. You'll find them and purchase them. Or you can simply just take and pick up the phone, call Lincoln Diesel Specialties and ask for a salesperson and take and place your order that way. Head over to LincolnDieselSpecialties.com for all your diesel truck needs.